guys, it's Carolyn with Crafting with Wine, and I got another 2-page 12 by 12 Cricut scrapbooking, scene scrapbooking layout that I am going to make. And this one is from some photos that I took, I think in 2008, I believe, and it was the first time our daughter went to my hometown, and she got to visit several of my aunts and uncles, but there was one of my uncles who really stood out to her, and she just loved him to death. And unfortunately, he passed away with bone cancer about 2 years ago. And he lived on a farm, and he had a farm, and he told her he was the sheriff, which was not true. Was not true at all. So that's what I'm recreating today, and it just brings back a lot of incredible memories for me. So let's get started. And this layout is entitled Country Life, and we live in the city. So my daughter's not familiar with the country life, and she absolutely fell in love with it, and that's where she wants to live someday, is in the country. So my first piece that I'm going to lay down is my fence, and it is cut at 6.55 by 3.11. Every image that I'm laying down today is paper pieced on this layout, and every image comes from the county fair cartridge. So it's a cartridge I have very seldom used, so it was fun to use it. And before I lay my fence down, I'm going to lay down my grass piece. And my grass piece is cut at 11.5 by 1.85. I'm going to lay it down first so I know how to line up my fence. And my grass piece comes from another image that I tore apart, and I will share that. It still comes from the county fair cartridge, but it was an image that came with some other things, and I cut it apart in Cricut Design Space to use this piece of grass, and then I just enlarged it. And I'm going to put it down at the bottom, lining it up with my blue layer. And I should say that I have the yellow piece of cardstock in the back that is 12 by 12, and then I have this pretty bright blue layer on top that's 11.5 by 11.5. And now I'm going to lay down my fence. And I am going to tuck the one fence post behind that piece of grass and the other one behind that piece, and do it like so. And I've inked around the edges of almost everything. Now, my next thing that I want to lay down is my title, and I've got it popped up on foam tape, and I was smart and actually took the backing off my foam tape, so I didn't have to spend a ton of time taking that off on camera. And I got a lot and it took a while to take it all off. And I see a piece of foam tape that's sticking out that I don't want to stick out. So I'm just going to bring in my paper snips there and cut that little piece of foam tape off a little bit. That way it doesn't show through. See, just a teeny tiny piece. But I'll always see that if I don't cut it off. So I'm going to lay it right up here at the top, and I'm going to come over my blue layer of paper just a little bit. It's titled Country Life, and it's cut at 7.58 by 4.17. And again, every image in my layout is cut from the County Fair cartridge. Now, I have 2 photo mats to lay down. I have the red layer cut at 4.5 by 4.5 and the green layer cut at 4.25 by 4.25. And obviously my red layer was double-sided, with one being red and one being pink. And I'm going to pop it right underneath here, because I want it close to the top, which also means that I'm going to take my little embossing buddy here and take away, just press it on there so it takes away the sticky of the part that's going to come over my photo mat. That way my photo can stick under without any problems with any adhesive coming through. Now, I meant to cut my next layer at 4.5 by 4.5, which would hold a 4 by 4 photo, but I went and cut my green layer too small when I was doing this. And I don't cut any of my background layers or my photo mats on my Cricut. I do that on my cutter, paper cutter. So I messed up. So I just went with it. So the red layer's at 4.5 by 4, so it's gonna hold a 3.5 by 3.5 photo on this one. So, and I'm okay with that, because we can alter our photos and get the main images that we want without issue. We all know how to do that. So I'm going to lay it down right there, so it's going to hold those 2 images. I'm going to fix that up a little bit. And because this represents my daughter and my uncle, her great uncle, I've cut out a little cowgirl that is roping a farm animal. I've inked around her too. She's all layered up. She's very dimensional. And then I just doodled on her little scarf here as well. And I'm going to lay her down flat. And those big splotches you're seeing on the back of her is because I used one of my Copic markers to color in her eyes and different things. Because of the papers that I chose, I wasn't happy with what color the eyes were going to come out. So in those areas of her eyes and the buttons on her outfit, I wanted to be a darker brown. So I just used my Copic marker to do that. And her little lasso here, I'm going to put right here, or put glue on. And I am going to place her right about there. She's so cute. And then the next image I'm going to lay down, which is the little animal that she is lassoing, is a cute little pig, and he is so cute. And my little pig is cut at 2.94 by 3.33. My little girl is cut at 4.35 by 6.73. And I've got my pig popped up on foam tape as well, and I'm going to put him right here. And this finishes the left side of this 12 by 12 Country Life layout. So let me bring in the right side and we'll get started on it. Okay, the right side of my layout, I still have the yellow 12 by 12 cardstock and that pretty bright blue that is 11.5 by 11.5. And then I've got several images here that I'm going to put down, and I'm going to put down my ranch entry sign with the fence post. And my ranch sign is cut at 11.5 by 6.5, and I did ungroup it to get it cut the way that I want, so you will have to as well. Again, everything comes from the County Fair cartridge. I still have my grass layer, and I'm going to pop it down here as well to see where I want it. And as you can see on here, I was supposed to have the little grasses here, and I took those away because I didn't want to cut them. And this section here is the one I pulled apart and cut at the 11.5 by the 1.85 inches is what I did. And I want my ranch sign to come behind my grass is what I want, because I don't want you to be able to see those grass layers that I did not lay down. So I'm using my grass layer to decide where I'm going to put this. And that looks good to me. So it's, probably 1/4 of an inch up from my blue layer. So I'm going to use my ATG gun to lay this down. And again, it's all paper pieced, and because it's so heavy with all the paper, I'm putting a lot more tape on here than what you should really need, but it just, I get paranoid about it, so I know that I put more than I really need. So I'm certain I'm not the only one who does that. So let me line my page back up here. Okay. Going to prove difficult because it's such a large image, and I'm going to do it like this so I can get my first side down. There, I like that. And then when I let it all go the way that it wants to, then it's going to lay down the way I want it to. And it says ranch, and this layout obviously doesn't represent a ranch, but I still liked it, and that's how my daughter called it, was a ranch, because that's all she knew from TV shows, obviously, during her young life. And now I'm going to lay down my grass layer. right there. And then my next image that I'm going to lay down is my little chick, and I've got his little head popped up on foam tape and his little crown popped up on foam tape, and also his little wings popped up on foam tape. And then I used my copper Nuvo drops for his eyes, and everything has been inked around as well. So now I'm just going to lay him down flat because he has tons of dimension with him at this point. And my little chick is cut at 1.43 inches by 3.12. And I got to get my finger unstuck. And I'm going to put him right over here on the left hand side and pop him down. And then I'm actually going to do my photo mats next, and this is the one that will hold a 4x4 photo. And I'm going to pop it right up at the top and toward the left hand side of my ranch sign. And then my next photo mat is the same as the other side, and I didn't write those measurements down. It was supposed to be 4x4. Again, I measured my green layer wrong when I cut it, so we're going to go with that. So I'm pretty certain I said that it was going to hold at least a 3.5 by 3.5 photo. And I'm fine with that. And then my next layer that I'm going to lay down is my little weather vane, and it is many layers, and it is cut at 2.76 by 3.11. I've got the chick itself popped up on foam tape, and then the rest of it I'm going to lay down with wet glue. And again, all of these images come from the County Fair Cricut cartridge. So I'm good with that, and I'm going to pop my little weather vane on top of my ranch sign. Right like so. And I'm not going to push down the red part of my arrow because I just now realized I put glue on that, on this part, and I didn't want to because it's going to go over a photo. Or you could also just make it a journaling spot too if you wanted to. But as long as I don't press it down, then I'm not worried about my photo tucking under it. And then the next image represents my Uncle Paul, the sheriff of the ranch. Didn't he come out super cute? And he is cut at 2.57 by 6.14, and I got him popped up on foam tape, and I am super sorry that I forgot to take the backing off of this. I'm trying to remember to do that, guys, so that my videos aren't so loaded and long for my layouts, being due in part to taking the backing off the foam tape. So, but I forgot, so bear with me for a few moments. I will certainly appreciate it. And I most certainly appreciate your comments and your subscription, and if you hit that little bell icon, I really appreciate that as well. Okay, got those off. So I'm going to put my little Uncle Paul right here and put him down. Isn't he super cute? I think he is. And then my next image is my little cow, and I think she came out so super cute. She is cut at 3.51 inches by 3.98 inches. And I'm laying her down flat. And she is a she, she's a cow. With her little cowbell too. And I'm going to put her right here. I just love her. And then my next image is my super cute little horse. And my horse is cut at 2.83 inches by 3.87 inches. And obviously I have it popped up on foam tape as well. Lots of little pieces of foam tape. So unfortunately you're going to see me peel all the backing off my foam tape again. And I swear I will get better at this where you don't have to see it. I'm trying, guys. I'm really trying. I fail more than I succeed is all I have to say. And I'm going to put my cute little horse right here. And I think my little country life layout came out super adorable, and I hope you do too. So I love it, and I can't wait to put my photos on it. And you may question the fact that I don't put my photos on my layouts when I share it on any of my social media. I don't do that. And I don't do that on purpose because I respect my daughter and my husband's privacy, and they've asked me not to. So I never will put my photos down. But they do go down pretty quickly when I'm ready to put them in my books. So, but I won't ever show that on social media. So I apologize for that. So I guess you could say I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry, because my daughter and my husband's privacy comes foremost, most important to me. So I will never share their pictures because they've asked me not to. So I hope you guys understand. And thank you so much for watching and spending a little bit of your time with me. I certainly appreciate it. Cheers!